There are three primary ways that you can budget labor accounts within ProfitSword by Actable. The first option is using a full-time equivalent entry, or what we refer to as an FTE. This is going to be for your full-time or salaried positions such as a front office manager. The second option is by hour per occupied room. You might see the HPOR abbreviation throughout the system. This is for positions that are based off your rooms sold, such as housekeepers or room inspectors. This is another driver that can be assigned to specific labor accounts. The last option is flat entry, and this is for positions you will need regardless of hotel occupancy, such as your night audit or front desk agent. The HPOR accounts are going to automatically update as you make changes to the forecast. The FTE and flat entry positions don't change unless you return to the forecast screens and manually make the changes. These distinctions are determined by drivers that have been set up in the system. FTE is a driver that you can assign to on-property salaried positions. You need to determine how many hours are associated with that role and enter that number into ProfitSword. This allows each property to determine how many hours their managers work. Because this number varies at the property level, there is one setup step that you'll need to make with these roles. We need to tell ProfitSword what the stat is, or how many labor hours are associated with that position. This is easiest if it is done on the 12-month screen. You're able to do the entire year all at once. You're going to go to your labor accounts and choose the reference department. The reference department is where a lot of total lines are stored, but it's not an actual hotel department. From here, we are going to add a number to our stat column. An example formula to determine our stat is, these roles work 40 hours a week, divide that by 7 days, which will give you 5.7 hours per day. From here, take the 5.7 hours and multiply by number of days in the month. A 30-day month equals 171. A 31-day month equals 177. And a 28-day month equals 160. Once you've done that on the reference screen, you'll see the number of hours entered for the month appear under the driver column. Then you'll need to enter in a ratio and a rate. The ratio will be the number of people in this position. You can have a half person, so your front office manager position can run on 1.5 FTEs. The rate is going to be the average wage. The amount will automatically calculate based on the information you've entered. If you make a change to the driver and increase the number of hours from 40 to 45, you can go back to the reference department, change the number of hours, and the amount will recalculate. If you want to add a second person to this role, you'll come back in here and change the ratio. Your HPOR labor positions are for roles where how many people or hours you're going to need really depends on how many rooms you sell or how busy your outlet or property is going to be. These positions have occupied rooms or total rooms with comps set up as the driver. You are going to add a ratio and a rate. The ratio column is a percentage of an hour. For example, if your housekeepers are allotted 25 minutes per room, you would enter 0.42, which is the calculated percentage of 25 minutes of an hour. Then, you'll enter the average wage of your housekeeping team and enter that in the rate column. Your stat and amount columns will automatically populate. So we are budgeting a total of 1,943 hours of room attendant labor for the month, and it is going to cost us $12,649. As our driver changes, so as we add or subtract rooms to our total rooms with comps numbers, ProfitSword is automatically going to recalculate our stat and amount columns, changing our budget. The other option you have here to enter labor is flat entry. This is for positions that you need regardless of hotel occupancy. In this scenario, you can enter the hours budgeted for the extra hours for each day, times the number of days in the month, into the stat column, and the average wage into the rate column. The amount will automatically populate. With any flat entry position, the amount you allocate to these positions doesn't change as you make changes to your forecast. If you want to add or subtract labor from these positions, you must come back to this screen and manually make the change.